Whether you're watching, listening or reading this, welcome back to the Runpreneur vlog, where we're on a mission to raise £1 million for children's charities by run vlogging on consecutive days the distance of one lap around the world. It's a staggering 40,075 kilometres. It's going to take somewhere in the region of 14 years to accomplish, so plenty of time to raise that epic target of £1 million. I'm going to do a minimum of 5 kilometres every day, and I'm even going to do it barefoot style. So those regulars will know I vlog about my passions, which are entrepreneurship and running, and how that links with helping people overcome the emotions of stress, overwhelm and anxiety by using exercise as a release mechanism. It is a beautiful morning today, really cold, about -1 degree morning, but the sun's out and there's not too much breeze, so decent enough running conditions. Just waiting for spring to show up with the temperatures. And it's a Saturday summary today, where I talk about my weekly update on the journey of a serial entrepreneur. So as always, if you like this episode, give it a like and a subscribe, and let's get started. So, another week flies by. It's scary to think Q1 has come and gone. We're well into Q2 of the year, or depending on how you operate. If you follow a calendar year, we're in Q2. If you follow the financial year, we're in Q1. So that's a UK tax financial year. But things are moving forwards. It's always hard when so many things are going on to kind of establish and work out how well things are going. You just get so caught in what's going on. I wouldn't have it any other way, because I'm really enjoying what we're doing at the moment, and I'm really excited about what the future holds. But let's go through each business as always, and let's see what the weekly highs and lows are, to see and actually give the week a verdict at the end. I think we've only had one negative week since I've started doing this, so we seem to be having positive weeks most weeks, but maybe I'm a little bit too generous in the ranking of a positive week, but we'll determine that in the future. So we'll start with my property trading business, Property Empire Investments. A good week this week. We had 2 sales come in. We had to give a little discount away, but that's still £9,000 worth of revenue, which is good. And our target for this quarter is to have 2 sales per week. Okay, so we hit target. So you have to say that's a positive week. We've also been spending a lot of time on the project management side of the business to try and get it a little bit more watertight. We've been running the construction and maintenance side of the business now for a good few months, probably 4 or 5 months now, and we've been doing everything at cost so far, and I think we need to establish a slightly more accurate estimate base, so that we can actually factor some margin in for the business. And that's what I'm working on over the coming weeks, in structuring it out, getting better schedule of works, better estimates, to ensure that we come in where we need to on our refurbishments, and there's a project management margin in there for the business. So I'm excited to be doing that, but there's a lot of work. It's really, really complex. Refurbishments and cost of works and schedule of works, and identifying costings down to, very, very granularly, is quite time consuming, and especially to put it into an automated system or a system that's partially automated is quite an effort to achieve. So that's what we're doing at the moment. But I am excited. I've got the plan in place. I mapped out the whole project management side of things. I'm just going past someone. Morning. So I've mapped it all out, so I know exactly what it looks like. It's now just making sure that every stage in that process is optimised and systemised as much as we can get it. So a lot of calculators, a lot of templates and things that have been created, a lot of automations to try and work that out. So, but it's all positive. It has to happen, and it's been one of those massive tasks that just keeps getting knocked back. But ever since that we've sorted the kind of marketing and the sales side of the business out, the next logical step was to start working on the actual delivery side of things. We've been doing well, but it's just not been profitable, and I think that's where it needs the focus. So all the financial side of things as well, get it tracked in Xero and all that side of things, is still to be set up, which I'll be focusing on very shortly. So that's the trading business, but overall it's been pretty productive. We've got all our targets set for each business following on from the planning meetings, and we've got our lead and lag indicators set, so we know that we need 2 sales a week. We know that we generally convert a 33% conversion rate on sales calls, so we know that we've got to get 5 to 6 sales calls booked a week, and we know that that means somewhere in the region of 40 or so leads coming into our landing pages to book a call and to find out about our deals. So we know what the marketing team have got to do, focus on generating the traffic to the pages on a weekly basis. The sales teams have got to be making those calls and closing them at 30%, and if that happens, then it will result in 2 sales a week. We've also revamped the sourcing side of things as well, because obviously the sourcing has to run in tandem, so we need to have 2 deals a week being sourced so that we have 2 deals a week to sell. And we've currently got a little bit of a buffer. I think there's 2 deals left that we've got that are available at the moment that we should expect to get sold early part of next week, and at the same time we'll be expecting 2 more properties to be sourced available for selling during next week, so that we're always 1 week ahead in the sourcing. That's the plan. But again, we've got our lag and lead indicators there. We know what the conversion rates are. We know that I think it takes I think we're converting at around about 20%, so we need to have 10 deals that we make offers on. 10 deals that we approve from our team of virtual assistants that are doing the sourcing. So we have an approvals team who approves. So on that basis we need 2, and we're converting it a kind of 20% in terms of we're going to need, well, you can do the maths, can't you? Obviously, you know, you need to get with 20 to be 40 approvals to get, if you're working at 20%. I'm doing my mathematical ability whilst running is poor. Basically, I think the VAs need to source 40 odd properties. I think we approve somewhere in the region of 10, and that results in 2 offers accepted. Okay, so that's the general run rate. Okay, so it's 25% from sourcing to approval, and of the approvals it's 20% of approvals to offers accepted. So that's kind of the intricacies of how we target. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. I'm very cold, it's quite early in the morning, so excuse my limited focus this morning. But anyway, the next business is Property Empire Builder and our 2 Squared Academy. We're the other thing on the Property Empire investments, we've got the funnel finished now. So we changed the funnel a few times with opt-in rates, etc. But we've now got a pretty solid funnel in place where the call booking process is all very nicely knitted into the process, and we are getting a steady flow of calls in. So we'll be looking to get at least 6 booked in for next week, so that'll be interesting to see how that pans out. But hopefully it all works to plan, providing everybody does their role. So I can't stress the urgency, the importance of understanding your lead indicators and your lag indicators. Lag is, well, we know, you know, financially, I've done this before when I talked in the previous episode. We know what we need on an individual basis, and we reverse engineered it, put all the overheads in it to give a revenue figure. We then worked out how many sales that resulted in achieving that revenue figure. We then divided it down by quarter, by month, by week. Okay, and then we looked at our conversion stats to put targets in place so that we can proactively say to the team, this is what we expect you to do on a week by week basis to achieve those targets. So the clarity that we get from that is huge, and it's super cool to have in place. So the next business, Property Empire Builder, which is our 2 Squared Academy. We're still sitting at somewhere at around 80 active subscribers, which is good, and you know, we're slowly dropping because we haven't been doing a promotion, but we're setting up we're building a funnel at the moment for another webinar launch of version 2 of the program, which the feedback's been really good, so we're really excited about doing that. And that will start, I think, the first week of May is when the webinar will be. On the basis of the previous webinar we did, I think we had some 500 odd or 475, I think, registrations. I think we had 150 odd people turn up, and we closed 80 on the day, and then the follow-up picked up. We ended up getting up to kind of 160, 170 in the follow-up. So if we can achieve those figures again, we should be better, to be honest with you, because we've got a more slick promotional process. We've got our affiliate program finally going to be set up and ready, so we can get affiliates to promote the webinar as well for commissions. So we're hoping to beat those figures, which are pretty big, and especially how we don't do any paid advertising. So that's a massive achievement. So we've mapped out the webinar launch, or we should say that we've tweaked it from the previous version. So we're in the process of getting all that set up at the moment. So that's exciting for our webinar first week of May. Yeah, it's stable. It's a stable business at the moment. Lots of potential for it, and I think we've come a long way since we launched our first webinar back in November. So it's pretty cool where we are with that. We've also started sourcing for rent-to-rents as well. As we're looking to grow, we've got 2 rent-to-rents at the moment, and as we're starting to teach this a bit more often now, we've had a lot in the past, but now that we're working with long-term lease providers, it makes complete sense to reopen the rent-to-rent portfolio and start taking on more stock, putting the long-term leases on it, because it's completely passive once you get to that stage, for up to 10 years. So that's what we're focusing on at the moment. We've got all our lease providers partnerships in place, and we're looking to kind of source and grow that over this month. We're looking to take on average 1 a month throughout this quarter. So that's kind of a new tranche of income, or a new revenue stream that we've identified and have put the process in place. So the sources are also going to be sourcing for rent-to-rents as well, which is super exciting. So lots going on from that front. We then have my property business. We've got targets set there in place as well. I think we're currently working at about 90% occupancy, which is still pretty good, but we want to get to 97% by the end of quarter. So that means that we've got about another 12, I believe, units to get sorted this quarter. So it's about 1 a week that we're trying to turn around and get tenants in, whilst managing the churn as well. So but the property business has come on leaps and bounds. It was in a tough place over the past few years, but it's starting to come back into its own now, which is super cool. We got the block of flats. We got the first rent remittance notification saying that we're going to get paid at the end of this month for 6 of the 9 units, which are all backdated to 25th of February when we signed the lease. So there's a nice chunk of money, about 3.5 grand coming in then. Completely, again, no maintenance, no disbursements off of that, no management, which shows these long-term leases really work. And the other 3 will be in payment for May, and again they'll be backdated right back to the 25th of February. So and then it'll be monthly payments thereafter. So that's going really nicely, so really happy about that. We've got a couple of other properties that are signed off by long-term lease providers that we're just doing minor renovations on at the moment, and we'll look to get those handed over this quarter as well. So that's all pretty exciting from that side of things. So everything, the property side of things is moving forwards steadily, which is always good. The social media academy, we've knocked it back a little bit, pure and simply because we've got so much going on. And I had a long conversation with the marketing team this week, and we realised we haven't got our promotional calendar created. Now they're pulling this together and agreeing it as a team, and they're going to present it to me on Tuesday next week. Really, really important, because we want to be promoting something every month, or at least every other month. But if you promote things simultaneously, you can't have the focus, and the dilution effect happens, and you won't promote it well enough, and the launch won't be as effective as you hope. Now we've got Social Media Academy we're building to promote. We've got the Runpreneur Challenge that we're getting ready to launch. We've got a new webinar for 2 Squared Academy we're about to promote, and we're going to do some kind of promotional campaigns to really kickstart the trading business as well, with the new funnels that we've got in place. So there's 4 things that we're promoting there, and that's not to say in the pipeline we've got a meal delivery business that we're looking at. We've got a body transformation coaching business we're looking at. We've got some development opportunities as well. So all these things, you have to map these out in an annual planner. Look at when people are having holidays, all these types of things to ensure you have the capacity. A couple of pheasants running over a field over there, which is quite nice to see. It's a beautiful day. But anyway, so yeah, it's we're mapping out the promotional calendar so that we're not overworking people, because that's something that I've experienced in the past, being overworked and overworking others, and it's something that I'm very, very conscious of. And I think if I can keep my team happy and motivated, and they all very much are, they're building really nice tight friendships and working independently as little groups and stuff as well, which is really, really cool to see. I don't want to put them under too much pressure, so I made that decision, and I think it's really, really important. I follow a book, It Doesn't Have to Be Crazy at Work, one of my favourite books, about creating a kind of chilled but very productive business culture, and not overwhelming my team is one of the main priorities. So that's going to be knocked back. I'll know when we're going to launch that as of next week, so I'll update you then. The Runpreneur Challenge, which is my real passion, the assets are nearly there. I reviewed the draft website, still quite a bit of work to be done on it yet. The social banners are all being drawn up at the moment, so they're going to be updated. All the descriptions and bios and stuff are all being redone by the copywriter at the moment. And again, we're looking at the promotional calendar for when we can actually launch. I may launch that simultaneously alongside the webinar for 2 Squared Academy, because Jack, my business partner, will be promoting that. I'll be promoting the Runpreneur Challenge. So because there's 2 of us going to be doing the promotions on this side of things, it makes it manageable. With all the other businesses that we do, Jack promotes them all. So on that basis, we have to spread those out to obviously not overwhelm him as well, which is key. But I'll be constantly promoting the Runpreneur Challenge, because that's what I'm truly passionate about. So that's moving along nicely, and again, we'll know our target launch date, but we are getting closer. But you forget there's so much work involved with getting all of the copy rewritten, all of the banners, everything optimized, the website copy done, making sure everything's all set up, it's branded correctly, and then also the sponsor me page, which is where people are going to be donating. We've got some really cool ideas that we can raise, that we can use for increasing sponsorship as well. Like one of the cool ideas was, well, obviously people can donate to come and run with me, and we do a vlog episode and be part of the journey. That's one of the big ones. The other one is to offer a £1 a month subscription, a £2 a month, a £5 a month, a £10 a month, and the basis is going to take 14 years or somewhere around that region to accomplish. Then the money that you'll generate over the course of time is pretty huge. So that's what we're looking at, how we can get biggest donations for people in a more affordable manner. We haven't even started on the collaboration process yet. I'm also going to be donating myself on a monthly basis, but I'm going to be donating a share of the profits from my businesses. I don't know what that figure's going to be yet. Hopefully it'll go up over the course of time. But I'm not going to donate it directly to the charities. I'm going to hold all mine back. And you say, well, why? Why are you doing that? Well, I'm going to invest mine into kind of share ISAs and funds and trusts. Low risk, low to medium risk, for stuff that's proven to perform a really good rate of return over the period of time. And I'm going to document all of this on the website, make full disclosure, transparency, so people can see what I'm putting in every month. They can see the funds that are ring fenced for the charities, so people are not going to think I'm just making it myself. It's my money I'm putting in, so it's completely my prerogative, by the way, but I will make it fully transparent on how it's performing. And the idea is, over 10 to 14 years of compounding interest, if I invest it sensibly, what I put in will hopefully double, possibly even more, so that when I donate it at the end, it'll be one big massive fat check. And my target, I don't know, I'm starting thinking that I'd love to be able to put something in around region of 50k across, maybe a bit more, I don't know. We'll see how the business is going, how much I can afford to donate, but I'd love to be able to invest enough to generate a return of up to 50k that I put in a one transaction, which will be truly satisfying to make a single donation of that magnitude. And I'd love to be able to do that. So there's some cool ideas we've got for the Runpreneur Challenge, and that's moving forward quite nicely. The other businesses, the holdings business, which is going to be the rent to rent, and where we also own some of our stock as a group, is ticking over nicely. We've talked about the construction and maintenance business as part of the Property Empire Investments, which is the trading business. That's the project management side of it, and the refurbishments. And the body transformation is in the future. We've got meal delivery in the future. We've also got some bigger flips that we're partnering with a very experienced architect as well, which I'm excited to be working on in the future as well. So lots of things coming in the pipeline. So in order to be able to deliver those, I need to make sure I've got everything existing, systemised, fully focused, so I can remove myself from the involvement in these. Not fully, but I'm pretty removed from the day-to-day already, to be honest with you. I just get involved in the weekly meetings at the moment to drive forward the vision and the strategies. But I will then pull out and start focusing on the new opportunities as I look to grow the multiple streams of income, or tranches of income, or different revenue streams, whatever you want to call them. But that's my main focus in having multiple streams to make myself truly protected to recessions, pandemics, all these things that can wipe so many people out. And if you look at history of some of the wealthiest people in the world, they always have multiple streams of income, and that's certainly where I want to put myself. So that's pretty much it for me today. As always, if you've got any questions on this, drop me a comment. I'll respond to everyone. If there's a bigger question, I'll do a separate vlog episode and tag you in. Do check the links in my bios where you can watch, listen or read my content. It's all catalogued nice and neatly by topic, but most importantly, you can also keep up to date with my epic challenge to raise £1 million for children's charities by run vlogging on consecutive days the distance of 1 lap around the world. So please keep up to date and follow me and support me as best you can with that. So all that's left to say is my content, as stated before, is around my passions of entrepreneurship and running, and how we can link what I talk about with helping people overcome the emotions of stress, overwhelm and anxiety by using exercise. So that's ultimately the kind of niche that my vlog sits within. And it's really, really important, because if you don't have a release mechanism, and mine is my run vlog, to relieve those daily pressures, weekly pressures in the form of stress, it's like pressure that builds up in a pipe. If you don't process what's going on in your life, all those stresses, clear your head, process what's happened, gain clarity, refocus so that you can move on, the pressure just builds and builds and builds, and before you know it, you've got too much in your head, and then starts turning to overwhelm. Overwhelm's when you almost have a seizure, or you procrastinate because there's too many things going on, you don't know where to start, and then before you know it, it drifts into the realms of panic and anxiety. Morning. And as soon as you get to panic and anxiety, you're then flirting with mental health issues, which is something that we clearly want to avoid. Now, I've been there, and I've lost business because of this. I've lost business partners, and I've almost been bankrupt because of it. So I know it's like, it's a horribly dark place, and I wouldn't wish it upon my worst enemy. So, and there's no coincidence that since I've been doing this running vlog, which is my release mechanism, over the past 10.5 months or so, I've made more progress in those months than I have done in the previous 4 to 5 years. So hopefully there's enough social proof to show that stuff works. And my pledge to you is, if you are somebody who's struggling with this, drop me a message, okay? There's no catch here. The Runpreneur vlog and the challenge has always been about value giving and helping and supporting children's charities. But there's no, donations are optional. You don't have to donate. I'll still give you the value regardless, and I'll gladly try and help as best I can. So drop me a message, we'll jump on a call, and I'll go through a few step-by-steps guide and some points that you can integrate into your life. I know it's transferable because I've done this with many other people already, and I know we've made some massive positive difference to people's lives. So the help is there. It's often free. You just have to be prepared to ask for it, and it's often easier to ask a stranger than nearest and dearest. So if you are struggling, the olive branch is there. So that's it for me. As always, if you like this episode, give it a like, a comment and a subscribe. Do check the links in my bio to keep up to date with this epic challenge to raise £1 million for children's charities by run vlogging on consecutive days, the distance of 1 lap around the world. And all that's left to say is stay positive, stay happy, and I'll see you tomorrow.